rest of cardio is done. I had to get my digestive cocktail, whatever, morning supplements in. First meal of the day. Today is a moderate carb day, so I get carbs. I'm not gonna lie, I have check-ins tomorrow and the scale always goes up like after my moderate carb day, and I'm like, it just has to fall the day before check-ins, but it's fine. See, I go through this too. I'm an online coach, I coach competitors, and even I still like have moments where I'm like, the day before check-ins, why? But we are 6.5 weeks out, which is wild, like so wild, but I'm very excited. So today is a rest day. Yesterday I trained, I'll train again tomorrow. Tomorrow I have to pack, get all my meals and stuff together, because Thursday I go on vacation. So I am in prep, going on vacation, but I've done this before. I am getting gym membership. I already know the gym I'm going to, 24 hours even for guests, so I'm very excited about that. My client Cora actually just went there, so I got to like see how it was beforehand. Because I will still have cardio, I will still have training, like I will still have boxes to check, but I will get my steps in on the beach. That's the plan. And worst comes to worst, like I can just drive there at the end of the day and go finish out my steps. So it's a wrap. So we're gonna get our supplements in, make meal 1 with some extra carbs to go run an errand. Then I have check-ins with clients, and I have my call with my assistant coach at 6:30, and then at 7:30 I have a call with my team, because what I'm starting to do is just have monthly calls with the team so they can like get to know each other. I can go over education with them, they can ask questions, and I want to make sure there's still like a preservation of like face-to-face connection, because I'm online, and you know, I built out this portal to make sure that all the resources were in one place, and I still record videos for check-ins unless I need to send like a voice message or text, just depending on where I'm at in the day responding to check-ins. But I want to make sure that they still have like that FaceTime, and like I still do touch point calls as needed with clients, but I want to make sure that the sense of community is emphasized, because people like, I was talking to one of my other clients because I had a touch point call with her on Friday night, and she's been with me for years, and she's like, the team chat used to be like poppin', and even before I switched everyone over to the portal, like it kind of like went silent. And so I want everyone to kind of get comfortable again talking to each other, because I think people just have like maybe a shyness or a fear base, so now they kind of get to know each other a little bit more. But my dog is destroying something, so let me check on him and then get my stuff. Okay, moderate carb day. I get 100 grams of frozen berries. Limes are my favorite. I know that sounds really weird to have like a favorite frozen berry, but in prep you just do. Honestly, I tried to use these in all season too. But I just like that these ones don't have like a ton of strawberries, or they don't have any strawberries. The strawberries always take so much room up, and I feel like they don't have like, any flavor. Okay. Pet tax. Ready, Bo? Oh, come on. And then, because I only get banana on my moderate days, I freeze my banana. So, I might have to use a fork to get this out. This is so good, and I am sad to say we're like at the tail end of it. But I do still have the Evogen oatmeal cookie. I have the Axe and Sledge chocolate milkshake, and then I have the Axe and Sledge cold brew, which I'm not gonna lie, I don't love, mainly just because I don't really have a meal I could like put it in coffee. I don't know, so that sounds weird. Then I have the Good and Gather dark chocolate almond butter. This has same macros as regular almond butter, so we're fine. I don't want to hear it. It's not taking away from progress, and I stick to my measurements. I usually only do it in my smoothie. I have this. If not, I do my normal almond butter, but I go through it so fast. And then I do it with my cream of rice and creamy. So I get 14 grams. That is everything that goes into my meal one of the day. We're gonna do a little jump scare here because I'm gonna do my makeup. And I know, I'm a catfish, it's cool. I do my makeup for me because I wear gym clothes literally almost every single day. It's rare that I'm in normal clothes, and I feel good. So, anyhow, I wanted to just share this with you guys. So, I am honestly always very hesitant when influencers put things out. I'm not an influencer, but I've seen a lot using Lumify, and I was like, gimmick, whatever. But as fatigue is picking up and prep feels are really sinking in a lot, the fatigue is showing in my eyes more. So like, this is my eyes before, ignore my skin. I know it's patchy, but now I'm gonna put these in. I'll show you guys the difference, like amazing difference. Makeup though. I'm waiting. So for me personally, the first thing I use before I put any makeup on, I use the NYX the face glue. My best friend turned me on to that because she actually uses it with my athletes for show day makeup for the majority of them as base, and I was like, gym makeup, right? Because like when we go to the gym, we're sweating, like yeah, I have a full face when I go to the gym. Don't care. It's for me, nobody else. I don't talk to anyone in the gym. Like, I think I talked to like 2 people, maybe. One of them is the gym owner, and yeah. So I want to feel good when I'm working out, and then like if I have to go run errands after, I look good. Okay, we talked about this before. We're just gonna trust the process. I have the same routine every single day. And I could be totally wrong in this, so just don't judge me. Okay. So I do put the e.l.f. Fair Warm on, and then I go in, so I love the Morphe foundation, so I use the medium 13N. So I go in with my foundation. So last night was, or yesterday was Monday. So Mondays, yeah, are my longest days. And so I worked until like 3 a.m. Doing updates, answering messages, check-ins, etc. Making sure everything is set so I can build out peak protocols for my 2 girls competing. not this coming weekend, but next weekend, and making sure like my away messages and whatever are set for going on vacation. Because I'm taking, apart from peaking Mason and Leslie, I am taking an actual vacation from work, which is not the norm for me. Honestly, makes me a little anxious. I'm gonna try to keep that boundary with myself, and hope that everybody else respects the boundary. I remember last time I took literally just one additional day off, which usually I take off Saturdays and Sundays, or like halfway through the day Saturday, and honestly, sometimes I don't always stick to it, which is on me. So I think people maybe get used to that boundary, like not being enforced. But I had somebody message me, and like I returned to this message, and it was so rude. It was like, I knew you were on a vacation or whatever, and it was like, wait, I'm so sorry. Like, everyone has this impression that coaches are available 24/7. I think that's because a lot of people's marketing, maybe entitlement. But so I did use a little bit of concealer after that. And then I used the Ulta Beauty powder and press it in. So I use Light Warm I use for almost everything. But anyhow, I think people have this like impression that like coaches should be on 24/7, and oh my gosh, because I'm paying them, you know, X amount each month, like they should be at my beck and call. And it's like, wait, one, we have other clients. Two, we have families, and like honestly, our families are the ones who don't get to spend as much time with us, as much as like I hate saying that. And like I try to dedicate like specific time to spend time with Tommy, but like it doesn't always happen just because sometimes it's a busy work day, and he also goes to bed earlier than I do, much earlier. He is a morning person. I am not. I'm definitely a night owl, and I do think that comes from like 5 years on night shift as a cop, which I'm not anymore. But I thrive being up at night. So now I'm gonna set my under eyes. On my nose. I don't keep it on very long. I'm probably doing that wrong. And then I just use the e.l.f. brow brushes. I do love the Benefit brow pencil, but I am out and I don't have anywhere near me to get it. And I don't want to pay for shipping just to get the Benefit brow pencil. So we work with what we have. But the e.l.f. one is good. It just, honestly, it runs out really fast. Which is probably why it is the price it is. But anyhow, back to what I was saying. It's like, maybe, it's not a rant, but most coaches, like the coaches that like actually work and like actually care, I can say like I speak for myself and the circle of coaches that like I interact with. I work more now than I ever have. And, you know, obviously people can say that about like entrepreneurs. Like if you don't want to work for somebody else, like you could either work an 8-hour day for somebody else 5 days a week, or you could work 24/7 for yourself. And honestly, that's so real and so true. I like to underline my under eyes, my lower lash line, just because I like the way it looks. Again, trust the process. And now we're baked. I'm gonna take off that powder. Okay. before I go into anything else, I'm gonna go into my lip stain just so that I can't talk while I'm doing this. So this dries while I'm doing everything else. It's gonna dry. I'm gonna go in and do my eyes. So I use just the Morphe Flickering Sands palette right now. Somebody, it was not me, dropped this on the floor. This was not like this 2 days ago. This is what the only one other person who lives here. So I use just my little angled puff. And this again, a trust the process moment. And I go to the outer part of my eye. I like the angle. Alright, so this is like my base, because I'm gonna go in a second. If I'm not using the proper terms, I'm sorry. I also know the lighting in the bathroom is, not the aesthetic influencer light, but whatever, get over it. It is not a hard thing, but I feel like people don't talk about the negatives with being an online coach, which makes it look super appealing to a lot of people. And this is not I love what I do. Love what I do. Love my clients, truly. But there's a lot of challenge that comes with it. And I don't think people actually talk about it. I think coaching is honestly one of the only industries people feel entitled to your time that aren't clients, and sometimes they are, but usually they're clients that don't last long because they're not aligned, which I think for the most part I do try to make sure that I'm aligned with them on the onboarding call, and that they're aligned with me too. It has to be both ways, but sometimes people still slip through the cracks, or they think they're more ready than they are, or whatever. But people, especially maybe the younger generation, I think they think it's just easy money. And I'll be so real, this is the hardest money I've ever made in my life. Most rewarding, but the hardest, because it's not consistent. You'll have clients who just won't tell you they're canceling. They'll just cancel their card and go ghost. So you don't have as much of a predictive income. You'll have a contract in place, and that is something that I've implemented because it is a business, and it also holds them accountable, because you're not going to make the amount of progress that you want to make, that I want you to make in a month. And so you have that factor, and so you kind of have to prepare for client payments not coming through and that happening. And people might be like, oh, well, you're just making it all about the money. No, like I want to help my clients, but like also at the end of the day, this is my business and this is how I pay my bills. This is how I put food on the table for my family. This is how I live. Like I don't have another source of income. And I think that's something people are hesitant to talk about because they think it's going to put them into a negative light. And for me, and my clients know this, I will always be honest and upfront, and you're not always going to like what I have to say, but I think personally I would rather be real and be open than have to put on some front or personality for coaching, for social media, for YouTube, whatever. I think that's how you get very burned out and misaligned, and you end up really with a disdain for what you're doing. And I never want that to be me. Like, do I have moments where I'm like, damn, like, I just need time off? Sure. I don't always get it. That's literally why I'm taking that vacation, because I haven't actually allowed myself to have a non-working vacation, which isn't actually a vacation, it's just working in another spot. I want to be able to be more present. I want to be able to spend time, and granted, like, I am going to be in prep on this trip, but I'm still going to be intentional with my time, and take care of my two girls that I'll be peaking. But I just think there's a lot that doesn't get talked about. And like, as a coach, it's not just about, or it shouldn't be about, just protocols, right? Like, not just about their nutritional or movement adherence. Sometimes it's also about, a lot of the time, it's about looking at other factors. And I'm not just talking about biofeedback, it's looking at where stress was at through the week, looking at where mental health was at through the week. And through doing that, you're also taking on your clients' stressors and their emotion. And when you're going through things yourself, you have a lot more of a stress load and emotional load than a lot of people do. And I'm very grateful to have the bandwidth to be able to do that. Just making sure there's no extra powder. Okay, now we're gonna go into the bronzer. As my best friend would say, I love my bronzer. Look, this is just who I am. I use self tanner, I put bronzer on because I work in my office and I don't get a lot of time outside, so I just use the Revolution Makeup Bronze. It's my favorite one. I just go in with an angled brush. But yeah, it's a lot sometimes, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. I'm not sitting here complaining. I just think that people need to understand the realities of coaching. Like, know what you're doing before you get into it. Understand like the bandwidth you have to have, the level of care you have to have when you're going into it. It's not easy money. It might be easy at first, but trust the process. So I listen to, a lot of entrepreneurial podcasts and books, audiobooks, and I can't remember where I heard this. I'm sure it's a very common phrase. And it was, the easiest money you will ever make will be the hardest to keep. Or the most amount of money you've ever made will be the hardest to keep. Something like that. crazy text from my client and was like, okay, no, I need to answer this like now. Thankfully, it was just her trying to prove a point. I don't know where my train of thought was, but anyhow, I think I was talking about like money. Like if you think it's easy, like it's hard to keep, right? But like when you're consistent and you're not looking for the easy road, your delivery is there, like it gets better. I think people also see where people are at now and they didn't see what the journey was like for them to get there. And I think that makes it more appealing because we're so used to just what's right in front of our faces. We don't see what's behind it. This is another, like you just need to trust the process, okay? And just blend in. Again, really, makeup girlies, don't judge me. And then I do use a little bit of the Ellen Tracy Luminous bronzer just to add a little bit of shimmer and highlight. Believe it or not, I'm actually a lot better at makeup than I used to be. So we're just gonna be happy with this. My client, both of my girls are wellness going into the show this coming weekend for Mason. It's her second show with me. We just did the DC Pro AM in June. So she's still been in prep. And then Leslie, it's her first show. Mason texted me and she was like, what do you think about me? I don't know, she said, what do you think? Or like, how do you feel about me switching over to bikini, something like that. And I don't know if my face caught it, like actually. Hold on. I have headband and hat hair. I'm gonna spray. Okay. I have to tighten this. My client Breezy got me this. I love it. But if it caught my reaction was literally like, what the fuck? So Mason, when she came to me, she was like, okay, bikini. And I was like, girl, where? Like, she has a powerlifting background. She already had insane quads and we just needed to like grow glutes a little bit more. And there we go. And I guess she had gotten on a call with other coaches and another coach was like, no, like you're a bikini and no. Like, you've seen Mason. If you've been on my social media, you've seen Mason. If you've watched my other episodes, you've seen her. So when she texted me, that was like, literally, you're delusional. And I sent her a voice message and I was like, literally, the fuck? And she was like, oh, okay, thank you. I was just trying to prove a point. And I'm like waiting on her response. And I'm like, what point were you trying to prove? Because it was just hilarious. I was like, girl, no, I'm going to this. But yeah, I was like, girl, what? She's young, like literally not even 21 yet, and she already looks the way she does. Like, I am so excited for her and her bodybuilding career, honestly. Like, we have some really cool plans for next year. Next year's gonna be like such a solid year for my athletes. This was a smaller year for my athletes, and honestly, I'm kind of grateful for it, just with prep. but next year. Just stepping on stage, which is gonna be just so cool. And I'll be in off season, just already based on a conversation with my coach. So you guys have seen this before. This is the ColourPop. I think this is in Mocha. And I just go through, I do the liner. You guys have seen this before too. Charlotte Tilbury, Pillow Talk. Don't come for me with my routine. It's what works for me. Okay. Now, I'll go in my little lip plumper. Didn't see that. Okay. So here is the final makeup look. I need to find my earring. This little talk was all over the place. Guys, I literally only had one left, but I got it. So we're gonna crack it open and drink it because I have not had an energy drink yet today. Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah. So I have a couple errands to run, and then I'm gonna go home, get ready for my 2 calls, do check-ins, all of that. I've only had one meal today. I don't want to talk about it. But let's go. Okay, I need you guys not to judge me. I know you just saw me drinking Milani, but I truly have not had caffeine today, except for like 80 milligrams this morning for my cardio. So this is gonna carry me through to the end of the night, all right? And look, I have to drive like 50 minutes at least, maybe an hour, to go and get Starbucks. I do not live close to one, so since I was here, and I already had money on my app, it basically goes free, and white girl code. You kind of just have to, right? Yeah. But I always go in to like pick it up, because like also I like to take a selfie in the Starbucks mirror because it's anabolic, right? All know that. If you don't, you should. But like, I'm all for anyone can do whatever they want to do. Like, I know I use nicotine pouches, but 3 people standing in front of the Starbucks doors just fucking blowing smoke in my face when I walked in and out. Come on. Just like have some courtesy, okay? Do whatever you want to do, but like move to the side. Ran over. I'm gonna do a little check. They don't always add the stevia when you ask. So, it's like I knew, because I grabbed 2 when I grabbed my straw, a short straw. Now, I appreciate how well sealed the new Starbucks cups are, but can't get it off. Get off. Ugh. Okay, well, it's not coming, guys. Wait. I get it. Alright, it's not coming off. So, you know what? The world just said I didn't need stevia in that. It's fine. Okay, we're gonna drink this, drive home. It's like a 45, 50 minute drive home. And then eat, get to work, 2 calls, continue working. Hopefully get some good sleep because I have check-ins with Coach tomorrow. Yeah. So, I'll take you guys along. Let's go home. Hello, friends. So, I had check-ins with Coach this morning. Still waiting for a response, which is fine because it's like the normal timeline. But today, I am 6.5 weeks out and 15.5 weeks out. And I can honestly say today was like the first day I started to see the vision. Like, I know, you know what I mean? Sometimes we are like, check-in sucks and we have to like separate from it. But today was not one of those days, actually. I looked at my check-in. I felt really good going into my check-in. And I was so happy with it. Like, so happy with it to the point I cried. I didn't realize I was crying at first. I like started to feel like water coming from my eyes and I was like, what is happening? I was like, oh my God, I'm crying. But they were happy tears because I was like, wait, like the vision is coming to life, and it was so cool. So I'm excited to get her feedback. So I hit actually a new low yesterday and that maintained today, the day after my refeed day. So super exciting. Today, I'm not gonna lie, I'm feeling like, maybe you can't tell, a little like nonverbal. And I think it has to do with just like overwhelm because I'm leaving for vacation tomorrow. I have to train. I got check-in submitted to Coach. I got cardio done. I have 2 peak week protocols to put together because we're starting peak week tomorrow. I have check-ins to review. I have to pack. I have to get my supplements together. I have to get my nutrition together. And I'm like, I'm gonna lose my mind. But it's fine. I have a potential new onboarding call at 4:30, and then I have a call with my own coach for the mentorship that we do at 5, and then after that I need to go train, and then after that I need to pack, finish up any work that I have, and we're okay though. We're okay. Surviving. Thriving. We're gonna be thriving when we get to the beach, all right? I have my gym pass. I know where I'm gonna go train, do my cardio. I have a game plan. I'm good there. It's just getting there. That's a little bit more intense, okay? But what I am gonna do, I am going to go eat my next meal, all right? And then I'm going to continue building out the peaks. Tentative, all right? We never say anything is set in stone. I just want clients to know what they are going to need going into peak week. They already got a checklist with supplements that they're going to need, with anything they need to have on hand. So like they were prepared with that, all right? Like I don't believe in the tell somebody to do something the day before and then expect them to be able to go out and get what they need for peak. No, we don't do that here. But I want them to kind of game plan for what they're gonna need grocery-wise and what to tentatively expect for cardio training, all of that, to set their schedules up for their peak weeks. So, next meal, and then we're gonna get back into it. I'll walk you guys through, show you kind of not my peaking process because everyone is peaked differently. Like Leslie and Mason will have completely different peak week protocols. But I'll take you along where I can. I'll tell you what Lacey says when I get that feedback back. And we're gonna get through it because we always do. My sanity might be not be intact, but we're gonna get through it. My favorite meal besides my creamy and cream of rice and my smoothie. It's really just my chicken meals I don't like, but meals going down, and I get back to truly doing what I love. I know right now I seem a little bit more tired. It's just prep, but I truly, like, I have so much gratitude to be able to do what I love, to be able to see my clients evolving, and not just physique wise, but also mindset wise, and like instilling this sense of confidence in them. It is one of the coolest and most rewarding things. So we're eating. So I just heard back from my coach. She's very happy with check-ins. So I have to input like my data every single day. I have a daily log, and between last check-in and this check-in, I think we're down 2 something pounds. Things are tightening up. She said, you know, we're ahead of schedule, which is amazing, because I think, you know, as an athlete, as you guys know, you've seen kind of my thought process sometimes. We get a little unhinged, but it's always great getting that feedback from your coach, right? And today I felt it. So I am just very excited for the next 6.5 and 15.5 weeks, because like my shape, my rate of progress, like already significantly different than my last season. Yeah. And I was talking to Tommy about this today. So my last season, I was just numb. So I didn't feel the stress the same way that I feel it this season. Granted, this season, like, I'm running my business full time. It's not, you know, on the side. But last season, I was just numb. It was literally right after my brother died, and I just shoved every feeling down, put it into a little box, and tucked it away so I didn't have to feel it. And there were definitely a lot of stressors last season, but like, I chose not to feel anything. And in a way, like, it did make it easier. But that all eventually compounds. Compound. I don't know. My brain's looping over if I'm saying that correctly. But it all adds up. And eventually it added up and started to spill over. And I had to go through more of a healing process. Like, grief is still there. It's always going to be there. I'm not going to lie to anybody and say that it doesn't hit me probably every day. But through healing, you learn to grow with it, grow around it. And one of the like best tools that I have found is carving out time for that. So like, if I'm having time where I just need to sit with it, I allow myself to sit with it versus trying to push it down, push through whatever I'm doing, and still having that in the back of my mind. I allow myself the time to sit with it. Sometimes I'll have a conversation with my brother, hoping he hears wherever he's at. And that has helped tremendously. Obviously, this prep, after going through the healing, I feel the stress. I feel the pressure. Sometimes it's self-induced, but it's definitely more intense, which is okay. So I was telling him, though, that like, I am really, really proud of myself this prep. And obviously, like, we all go into it, we want to win, but it really, no matter what happens on show day, you know, the 2 that we have planned, I am still so proud of what I have accomplished during this time. Like, I coded and continue to code an entire platform for my coaches and my clients. And that was a huge task. Would not recommend in prep, but it was a huge task. And then getting everybody onboarded was literally like building out brand new protocols for all of my clients, all 47 on my current roster. which was kind of insane. That was probably where I wanted to tear my hair out, cry, or curl into a ball, if I'm being totally honest. But at the end of the day, my goal is always to make sure that my clients are taken care of and that they have what they need. And so like that was my huge driving factor, is every single bit of software or system that I had used, it didn't have the tools that worked best for my clients. And now the clients who would rather look at a PDF while they're working out than use an app, they have an option to download a PDF of their specific training protocols. And then when their next block of training comes in, they have the option to download that. It allows me to see so much more data and allows for more accountability. And it honestly meets the needs of every person, whether they want to use it or not, because there's always a few. But the ones that are using it and putting in the intention and whatnot, like it's a huge benefit. So I'm very grateful. But it was definitely a task. And accomplishing that during prep, I'm very proud of. And then, teaching posing clinics. Like I have another one coming up at the end of August, navigating clients that are in prep as well. There are a lot of different lessons that I'm taking away from this prep too, to not just lead me into my off season, but also into my next prep after that, which tentatively will be 2028, just based on the conversations my coach and I have already had. But I'm just proud. I'm having a day where I'm allowing myself that feeling. So now continuing with the peak week updates, and then I have an onboarding call at 4:30. My call with my coach at 5. I need to train and do everything else. But my sanity is definitely going to be in question, but it's okay. Learning to be adaptable is probably one of the most important things that I can tell you as a competitor and a coach. So you already know, I talked about I have so much to do, and part of that was supposed to be training. Now, my protocols tell me I need to train every other day. The last day that I trained was Monday. Unfortunately, the way that my schedule is working today, having 2 peak week protocols to do, check-ins, ending up on 2.5 hours of calls, part of which I wasn't expecting until I looked at my call booking for today, because it wasn't in place yesterday. It was a little bit unplanned. I need to pack, I need to make sure I'm in a good spot, I need to make sure all of my clients are taken care of before I go on vacation. So tomorrow my gym pass starts, and that's going to be where my training day falls. So it'll be training tomorrow. I'll probably end up training Friday, resting Saturday, and training Sunday before I drive home on Monday, just to account for where my protocols are. Not ideal, but instead of me being up until 3 o'clock in the morning because I needed to go train just based on the way today's schedule was, this is going to set me up for a better day tomorrow. Still allow me to go get my training in. The gym that I got a pass to, Coastal Muscle, I think is what it's called, in Wilmington. They're 24 hours, even for guests, and they have a posing room. So it's going to work out just fine. So instead of stressing about it, feeling all that pressure on myself, this allows me to just breathe, get what I need to done, make sure my clients are taken care of with their peak weeks, check-ins, form reviews, everything that I have pending, and then finish packing, prepping my meals, supplements, everything for tomorrow. Then tomorrow I need to get up, I need to do my cardio, I need to do my normal routine before we get on the road. So sometimes it just takes a little bit of flexibility. It doesn't mean protocols aren't being hit, it just means an adjustment had to be made. I was, talking to her about your peak week and showing her you, and she was like, The fact that she did that you guys did that in 8 weeks, naturally, no enhancements, just nutrition, training, stress management, like insane. And she was like, I think you should take her to the Ben Weeder next year. And I was like, girl, we already talked about that. That's already planned. That's what we would like to do. So if your ears, I am almost done with work. It is midnight, but peak week protocols are done, tentative for Mason and Leslie. All check-ins have been responded to. The last thing I need to do is go through pending form reviews, and then I will be done. But I think what I'm gonna do is I'm going to do those while I pack, so I can kind of like multitask. So I told myself, I was like, okay, 1 o'clock, it might be 1:30, but we're gonna get through it. And then our game plan is to leave at 9. So if I'm up at like 7, maybe 6:30, I can get up, I can do my cardio, load the car, get ready, and I think I'll be in a good spot. I might be a little bit more tired, but I think I can do that. So that's where we're at. Sanity has not been lost yet, but I think it's largely due to today's caffeine use. I did this to myself. So I have to be quiet because other people are asleep. But trying to pack is so hard for me, especially like in prep, because I'm literally like, what do I need to pack? Like, what do I need? So ideally, I need, obviously I need swimsuits because we're going to the beach. I need socks, underwear, bras. I need cardio outfits, gym outfits, and then sleep, lounge, and if we go out and do stuff. So we'll see. I have 2 suitcases open. We're driving separate tomorrow just because I'm going to be driving the dogs. My boyfriend has his daughter, and I still have everything I need to bring for prep, so space is limited. So I'll come back and also review form videos. Okay. You guys don't need to see this part. This is balls. Honestly, I'm being quiet, so I don't even know if you guys can hear me. But it's fine. It'll just be B-roll if you guys can't. One thing about me, I don't like regular bras at all. Sleep. I bought these for my last season for show weekend, but like they're actually the most comfortable thing ever to sleep in. I don't usually like sleeping in anything, but since we're gonna be asked with other people, I should probably wear something that if somebody comes and knocks on our door, a size smaller than Amazon like recommended, so it's like, oh, I'll just size down. No, too big. The struggle. It's denim shorts to go with it. So this brand, Assassina, so a female designer in Nashville, she has an athlete's brand. I have a beautiful red dress from her, these shorts, and a pair of jeans. Love her, love them. These, quite literally, these fit me into like 5 weeks now. They're a little loose now, but they also fit me in my off season. It's like Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, but like for bodybuilder seasons. So packing for the most part is pretty much done, but there's a lot of things that I use first thing in the morning I'm gonna have to pack tomorrow, and I'm just gonna have to deal with it. If you guys see me wearing the same sweatpants and shorts tomorrow, just know you didn't, because it's a travel day and I just like being comfortable. So I have a few more training videos to go through, then I'll get to go to sleep. So I'm going to wash my face, get myself ready for bed, and then finish out training reviews. And then you guys will see my travels. Well, it is 2 a.m., but I am done with everything. So I'm gonna go to bed, and I have a 6:03 a.m. alarm. But tomorrow, when I get some movement in with my cardio, it'll wake me up for the drive, at least. So, good night. I will see you guys all for my travel day. And I think that's going to be another vlog, so thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.